Hello there, and welcome to Club Steam Level 3. Joining me today is Mr. Aaron Rivera with a focus topic of today of Final Fantasy XIV. Welcome, Aaron.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good, good. So you're going to teach me the ways of the Final Fantasy today, a little bit.
Yes, it's gonna be awesome. So,
Okay.
I love Final Fantasy games. I've been playing and as we know, Final Fantasy kind of goes back to the Nintendo days. So,
Evidently, I was
yeah.
not a part of those days back then.
well, it's too bad. But you should definitely play some because they're really awesome.
Was the
They're
first
really-
American release like Final Fantasy IV? Like we didn't even get the first trilogy of games, so to speak.
I don't know exactly. Like, I'm not too familiar with the history as far as like game releases and stuff. I know about the games, but I know that there's a big history. So there's a lot of people
Seems
know.
to be the longest running franchise of games that has a number attached to it.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Yeah.
So, did you want to dive right into Final Fantasy, or do you want to talk about other PC, Steam gaming stuff first?
Let's go right into Final Fantasy.
Okay.
So let's just talk about the game itself. So we talked a little bit about it before. Final Fantasy was a sequel to Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn, is what we're going to be talking about, and it is a
Yeah.
sequel to Final Fantasy 14. I guess would be the best way to put it, or more like a remake.
Because this is Final Fantasy 14, just has a subtitle.
Yeah. So, and they've done this before. So they had Final Fantasy X, and then they had which was Final Fantasy X, and then they had Final Fantasy X2.
That's so
They've had I don't know. They've done it with some other games as well.
So, this is when the original 14 come out?
2012, I believe,
So, this
Maybe,
is a
or
very recent
something like that. Yeah.
reiteration. Now, you told me before the show that this is an online subscription-based service, like an MMO. Is that a good way to describe this?
Yeah, it is an MMO. So Final Fantasy has done this before with another game. I forget which one it is, but
'Cause that seems radically different from what Final Fantasy has been, which is an RPG, right? Traditionally, it's been an RPG experience. unless I'm
well,
wrong.
it still is an RPG. So when you think of like MMOs, they most of the time are going to be
the level up.
Yeah, they're going to have like a lot of RPG elements, or be completely RPG. Final Fantasy, is all like RPG.
Is the camera angle really zoomed out like most of the stereotypical MMOs, or are you closer up?
You
like a
can
third person?
well, by default, it's a little bit closer than a lot of MMOs, but you
Yeah.
can control how far you want it to be.
Okay. And does this game have a storyline, or is it just free roaming?
It has a story and free roaming. So it's like a lot of MMOs, you can choose what or choose kind of how you do it. You can just do like side quests if you want, kind of like a lot of games really. But there
Now, could you
is-
just burn through the story in 30 days and experience it that way?
I think you'd have to put in a lot of time if you're gonna get through
Really?
the story in 30
Okay.
days. Yeah.
Because how much are you paying a year to access this?
It's like $14.99 a month.
A year?
A month.
A month?
Yeah.
That's like, for you, that's like many games.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you get a month free with the game.
How long
so-
do you see yourself sticking to this?
I don't know, because I mean, it's really good.
That seems expensive. That seems like the most expensive game you've ever played if you keep it up for
Well,
a year.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much you play, because there is a level cap of 50. So I know like a lot of people, get to level 50, they kind of feel like they've got through it all.
Yeah.
Or you can complete the story. It's just up to you. But
That's
with these types,
$180 a year plus your $20 investment. So that's a $200
Yeah.
game if you do it for a year.
yeah, could get up there. But I mean, as you know, the people who stick with these type of games, like they get into it, and like it is their game that they play for.
Yeah, it becomes the one game you play forever and don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think you were particularly attuned to that kind of gameplay.
No.
I thought you liked to jump around a lot.
I do like to jump around.
That's what I thought. So
So-
it's like,
I've never played one of these games before. Never played one. I just wanted to try it out. So
yeah. So what's your initial impression of just trying it out? Is it easy to get into as a noob to this kind of genre?
it is. It's very easy to get into. Because if you played any Final Fantasy games before, this one, it just feels like a Final Fantasy game. It doesn't feel like I guess, like an MMO. Like I always,
It does feel like World of Warcraft. Doesn't
yeah, I always had like I've seen it being played, and I always had this like stereotypical view of it, of like
Yeah.
what it was like. This
Yeah, you're
feels
laying
complete-
back, Doritos in one hand. And,
Yeah. This feels very different. It's not like that South Park episode of
yeah.
playing World of Warcraft. But
See, imagine like a potential scary future if you were doing camera-based controls, as you could be eating food while controlling.
yeah,
But anyways, yeah, back
Kind
to
of like
the
the movie Her.
non-stereotypical. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so I'm just kind of talking a little bit more about like the history of the game. Is that it came out as like a sequel. It was like I guess like an apology to the fans because they got so much criticism from Final Fantasy 14. I don't know exactly how it was terrible. I
Was
never
the
played it,
original game an MMO?
but yes, it was.
Okay.
But I guess that in this one, it's a completely different story, and they even like talk about what happened during the first game. So they even say, "Oh, there were these like warriors, and they all died in the calamity." So basically, like Bahamut, if you played any other Final Fantasy games, you know that Bahamut is like this huge god that you can like call in during fights. He like comes down and like kills everyone, and so they talk about that, and they talk about all the people who had died were the Warriors of Light, is what they're referred to now. So now you're like following in their footsteps, and you're in this new adventure, and you just go out and do quests, and there is a story. I'm not too far into the story right now. I'm about a level 23, doing a lot of side quests and stuff. So, but what I heard is that they actually reduced like the graphics in this game. They kind of lowered them because that was one of the complaints. Is that it was Final Fantasy 14 was the specs were so high that a lot of computers couldn't run it at the high. Yeah, apparently they lowered it. I still think it looks really good. No.
Yeah, I'm looking at
complaints.
some screenshots here, and yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah. And what I heard is supposed to be coming out with the 64-bit version later this year. That's going to make the graphics even better. So, but yeah, overall, you know, the game is very in depth, but it's only as in depth as you want to make it. So. You can kind of go through it just like a lot of games. Like you can, of course, do like you can purchase new weapons and things like that. Just kind of learn the skills as you go through. But if you want to spend the time to really like develop your character, you can do that. And there's a lot to it. But yeah, going back to the graphics, I think that the textures, you're looking at the screenshots right now. There's some screenshots I'm going to show later on, or at least the textures look really good. Of course, I have it all set to the highest settings.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not a PC gamer, this game is on PlayStation 4. It's $30 for the disc, or $40 digitally, I think. And I was actually reading on the PlayStation blog just now. It's $12.99 on PS4 for their monthly subscription service, and you don't need PlayStation Plus if for whatever reason you don't have that. You're stupid if you don't have it, because it's awesome. But this is an online experience that you don't need PS Plus for. So kind of
Maybe it is $12.99, or maybe it's $14.99. It's one of those two because I know that I'm also like playing another MMO.
You're playing another MMO?
Yeah, I'm playing Elder Scrolls. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
Now, why'd you jump in the boat at the same time as Suicide for your free trial period?
it's all right. I want to see which one. Like I want to do a comparison, kind of see
Yeah.
which is which, and kind of like determine which one I want to play first. And I think I'm on.
Which
the
one are
Final
you enjoying
Fantasy
more
side.
so far?
Final Fantasy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, like the graphics, it's very detailed. Like landscapes, you can see like so much, and it's like you can see off into the distance. It's pretty nice. One of the things that I think kind of helps this game, it might, if you, like when you talk about it, kind of seems kind of cheap, or I guess that'd be the best way to put it. But it's really a smart decision. Is that they kind of limit like the area that you're in. So a lot of games put you into this really large open world. Well, this game has that, but they kind of split it off into smaller parts. So you can walk through this gate and it'll load a different area, but that way you have like really high detailed sections of the game, and there's a lot in that small area. But then there's also a lot of things on the screen at once, so you have like tons of people playing. You know, you could have like 50 different players on your screen, like in that same area with you.
Are you working cooperatively with people?
Yeah, so that's the like really interesting part about it. It still feels very much like a single player game, but you do work with other people throughout the game. So
Do you voice chat with them?
you can voice chat like outside of the game. So I have a friend that plays it, so we do like a FaceTime call during that.
Have you experimented with clans and stuff? Have you sought that out yet?
There is clans. People always send me invites. Every time I get on, there's always invites. I never join. But yeah, you can do it. And then like it's one thing I'm going to get into later, because you can actually make like a house for all your people. Like everyone can go and kind of, it's kind of like your headquarters. So
Yeah.
that'd be nice to have. But you do have to work together with people during a lot of different quests. So especially the story missions, there is like a lot of Final Fantasy games, you have, well, we'll get into that later, but you need varied types of characters, like a healer or like a fighter, so that way you could kind of
Sure.
can heal people while they're fighting. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So
Yeah.
let's see. Ooh, yeah, so let's talk about the story.
So getting into it, is there a nice prologue introducing the story when you first launch this? Is it kind of a cinematic type thing?
Yeah, it's not very long, but there is a cinematic thing showing like the battle that happened before. That was kind of like led to this game, I guess, being created, because the old world was kind of destroyed. And then starting up this story, and then you, depending on which character you choose, you'll start off in a different part of the world. So no one's going to have the exact same story, because they start off in a different section of the world, and then they're like, you still have the same main story, but it'll play out slightly differently how you get to that point, because my story, I started off in this one city, and at one point I had to go to the other city to get to speak to someone else, and then you go back to your city. But if you started in the city that I traveled to, then you'd have to go to my city to speak to the person that I spoke to that told me to go talk to the other person. So
Interesting.
pretty interesting, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it does a really good job of telling you the story throughout the game, but one of the things that might be problematic to some people is you have to read a lot. So there's not a lot of spoken stuff. There's
really?
a lot of text.
My next question was going to be, is there a Japanese audio option? It sounds like it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, there's just a lot of text. So
That's kind of a bummer.
some
Is the text
scenes,
important? Is the text important?
yes, if you want to follow the story.
Okay. That's a bummer, because I love just the cinematic nature of what video games can be
Yeah.
instead of the novel.
But I mean, they still have some pretty good scenes in there. Also,
Yeah.
it's just kind of mixed in. Yeah, and one of the things I really like about it is, like, even if you're not doing just the main story quest, you still feel like you're making progress throughout the game, because there's so much to do in it. You have different quests. You can always like
The way you
do
describe
stuff.
this, it sounds like Xenoblade Chronicles, but you're paying monthly.
Yeah, it is a lot like that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. And also, the story is really easy to follow. I know that, like, a lot of games, at least for me, if I feel like I take a break from it, even for just a few days, I kind of lose track of where I was.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but this one makes it really easy. So when you start up the game, it has like a recommended quest list, and it shows you like where they are and like what the quests are, so you can select the ones that you want to do.
Is there a fast transport system in this game?
Yes, there is. So I'll show a screenshot later of one of the crystals you use to travel between things. You can either do that, or you can get a chocobo to ride on. So chocobos are known throughout Final Fantasy games. They're like a really big chicken, and you ride them around. So you can do that. There's the fast travel, or you can teleport to any of the large crystals that you find. And it does cost money though to do that. So it's not a whole lot of money, but it does cost money. Money is not really hard to come by, but it's not as easy as a lot of other games. So you kind of have to be smart about when you fast travel because you want to be able to buy nice weapons and armor and stuff.
Okay.
This kind of leads us to the character. So yeah, you can always, you can upgrade your character. Of course, there's going to be weapons and armor, but you also have classes, and each class has like different jobs, like a lot of other Final Fantasy games. So there's a lot you can do with your character, and of course you can level them up to level 50. But each time you switch to another class, you start off at like a level 1. So you can level up multiple classes and gain different skills for those classes. So then when you are like a mage, for example, then you'll have some certain abilities from like your healer class as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm looking on the PSN for Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, and it's just very small text in the overview. Requires a subscription. Doesn't have any pricing at all on PSN with what that entails, which kind of bothers me that someone might accidentally buy this without knowing what it is.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
$40. Yeah.
But yeah, the character customization is pretty nice because you choose when you start the game out like your own name, like your race and stuff. You can always.
Do you call yourself Aaron, or do you have a special?
No,
Like...
my character's name is Nico. That's his first name because
Nice.
Nico is Japanese for cat.
Yeah.
And then
No,
his
that's cool.
and then his last name is Taiyu. I believe that's how you say that because that's
Now, is Nico spelled Niko?
no, it's N-E.
I think it's Neko.
Oh, Nico. Okay.
Pretty
There
sure.
you go.
'Cause, yeah, Ni is Ni.
Yeah.
They don't. Yep.
And then Taiyu, I think, is his last name, or
Mm-hmm.
Teiyu, which means son, apparently. So,
Cat son.
well, the reason why I chose that, we will get to it later. But yeah,
Okay.
so let's talk a little about the races of the people. So,
Sure.
there is the Elysian, I believe, and they're more like elves. I guess is the best comparison. And they are like. Yeah, they're kind of like elves. They live in the forest, and there's
They sing songs. They sing chants.
no.
Okay.
These are more like Lord of the Rings elves.
Oh, okay, like Legolas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's see. There, like for each race, there's 2 different kind of sub races. You know, kind of like humans.
Is that where
you have-
2 different species have sex? And
I don't know.
does
but
that
like,
just bring that to a whole new level of weirdness?
I guess the best comparison would be like where you have like dogs. There's dogs, but then you have like different breeds of dogs.
Like if a golden retriever and a poodle, they're not exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you have the like the wildwood and the Duskwhite of this race. So the wildwood, they live in the forest, and they have very good sight, which makes them, of course, really good with the bow, like a lot of
Gotcha.
elves.
Now, are these like species and characters that have existed in this world before? Like, are you familiar with a lot of these things going into it as a Final Fantasy player
it's-
from the past?
Yeah, they're similar to a lot of other like races that you see in Final Fantasy. Sometimes in other Final Fantasy games, they don't give a name to things. This game actually has a name for them.
Okay.
So the wildwood, of course, they like the forest, but many of them have kind of gone into cities. And so the Duskwhite, they're more secluded, and they live in caves and stuff. And they have really good hearing, and which makes them let's see. I guess like during fights and stuff, then apparently it's supposed to give you some kind of advantage. I'm not really sure how.
Did you
that
choose an
works.
elf class, or did you go?
No, I didn't. We'll get to my class.
Okay, so you have about 9 minutes
Okay.
on your timeline that you
All right.
finish here.
So then there's the Lalafell, and they're small people. So they're like a lot of other Final Fantasy games. They
Yeah.
tend to have a lot of small folks. So these would be the Lalafell.
Little people.
Yeah. And there's the plain folk and the dunes folk. The plains folk, let's see, they
Now, is the
live.
Dunes folk like from Lord of the Rings terminology, Aragorn,
I don't know.
the Dunedain?
But the plains folk, they live in like huts and stuff. They kind of live underground, so they're kind of like hobbits, and they have like like all these like passageways and stuff underground. And apparently their hair has like earthy kind of tones to it, so that's how you can tell them apart. And they have long pointy ears that are supposed to be able to hear really well. And then there's the dunes folk that live. Let's see. Apparently, their houses are on the backs of really large animals, like behemoths and stuff.
Are they killed? You kill these animals and you live there?
Yeah. And let's see. They have this kind of gloss over like their pupils, I guess. That's supposed to protect their eyes. I'm not really sure why that's important. But I guess it's because it's because of the sunlight in their home region is really strong. So and they also have this little symbol on their forehead that represents their zodiac sign. So
Is that what you chose?
No, did not choose that.
What did you choose?
Mine's gonna be the last one we talk about here.
Naturally.
So then there's the higher, I guess that's how you say that.
Yeah, La Cars in your
And
neighborhood.
it's I can't wait till we get out of this neighborhood.
Are you moving?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
But the higher, they are like Midland, or there's the Midlander clan and the Highlander clan. Now I was gonna go with these people because they're kind of just like humans, really. So you have the Midlander, just like a normal sized person. Let's see, they live in the cities and are really. I mean, there's a lot of different types of the Midlander people, I guess. So they have the most. I guess you would say within them is even more types of races.
Yeah.
And let's see, they learn how to read and write. I guess that's important. They're smart.
They're intelligent.
Yes, they are smart. The Highlanders, though, apparently they live in the mountains and stuff, and they are very large compared to the Midlanders. So they have, their tops of their bodies are really big, and let's see. And now they work in the cities as like mercenaries and sell swords.
Cool.
Then you have kind of the brutes, I guess you would say, and they're called the Rogadin. And there's the Sea Wolves and the Hell's Guard. And the Sea Wolves, they came from the North Seas. They were fishermen and things like that.
Now, when you're playing this game, how easy is it to recognize all these different classes? It seems like it'd be a headache.
Easy. No, it's very easy to recognize. Yeah, it's kind of weird how it's stamped.
Okay.
Like you see and you know exactly what these characters are.
Okay.
Then there's the Hell's Guard. Let's see, these are they come from the volcanic regions, and just pretty tough people. They're big and powerful. And then my character class that I chose is called the Makoti, I believe. And they are two different clans. They have the Seekers of the Sun, which there you go. Now you know where my name comes
Seeker
from.
of the Sun.
And then they have the Keepers of the Moon. So the Sun clan, or the Sun race, they like the warm light of the day, and all of their culture kind of revolves around the sun. And they worship the sun goddess, things like that, and they have vertical pupils, like some cats do. The nocturnal ones, the Keepers of the Moon,
They're like
they
bats.
they don't like the sunlight, and they worship the moon goddess, and they wear face paint, and yeah,
Cool.
that's about it. So there's a lot of different races there. It's pretty
So, Sun, I mean, you chose them because of the sun stuff? Or?
The reason why I chose it is because my cats, when I was thinking, because this is like a cat person. I don't know if I said that.
Okay.
But my cats stay, or I mean, like they love sunlight. So whenever like the windows are open in the summertime, there's like light.
So you
that's kind of
related
on the
to it
floor.
on that level.
Yeah, they go and they lay right in the sunlight, you know. So
They also love laying on laptops because they're nice and warm.
yeah.
Now, is it a person that has a cat face?
Uh, yeah. Well, it's a mix between the cats. So you have like a.
Are we
head
talking
of a
about
cat.
like, Harry Potter, Hermione Granger gets the cat potion on accident?
So we're gonna do a little bit. We're gonna show some stuff about these things.
Okay. So we got 3 minutes if you want to keep to your time.
Well, we're not gonna make it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to.
We can go over
here.
if you want.
We're gonna go over here. So this is. You can see my screen. This is going to be the Rogadin class. So you see that they're like big ogre type people.
Yep. So if you're listening to the audio version, this is
Oh.
a good reason to check out the video version. We'll try to do our best to describe what is going on here. But Aaron's going to be showing some of the different classes and
Yeah,
what they
so
are.
this is like the general, like Rogadin, kind of what they look like. This is going to be the like the fisherman ones that come, the ones that come from the sea, and this is the one that come from the mountains. So as you can see, they have
Yep.
the blue skin or the red skin.
nice.
And then we have the my class, the Makoti or Makote.
Oh, that's hot, Aaron. That's pretty hot.
Well, this is the woman. So as you can see, they have the cat ears, you know, and it looks kind of like cat fur. You can change your hairstyle and everything. You can
Do
really
the ears go
customize it.
down when they're hurt or sad?
No. Well, I mean, you can change like what they look like. They're all different types of ears.
That'd
but
be a
they
nice
will
touch if
stay.
the ears would move.
Yeah. So this is the Seekers of the Sun class. Just kind of a general look, and the Seekers of the Moon or the Keepers of the Moon. So they are
I don't
darker
like the moon
skin.
ones. That's kind of it's kind of a turn off, Aaron. The moon ones.
For some reason, like where I found these photos, they all focus on
little
like
babies, little child.
yeah, they focus on like women a lot in this game, which
Can
I've
you
noticed.
reproduce in this game? You have childs
No.
there, children. Would you pick a child and become a child,
Well, this
or do
isn't
you
a
start
child.
off as
this
a,
is
you
this is the
start off as a
Lalafell. No,
That's
you
not
start
your
off
class?
as a full
I thought that was
grown.
the cat class.
No, the cat class was the last one.
Oh,
showed you.
I guess the ears just kind of looked cat-like a little bit.
Yeah, so this is the Lalafell. And as I said, they have the long pointed ears. They can
They're
hear
very
well.
adorable, Aaron. The little cute kids.
So
Even though there's fully grown adults in bed.
yeah, they're fully grown. So as you can see, their hair is more like an earth tone, even if that one's kind of green, but it's still they have brown and kind of earthy tone. You can see their long ears and things like that, and they have really like chunky legs. So I think it's looking pretty funny when you see them. And this is the other class. So they're you can see their like zodiac sign on the forehead, and their hair is much more bright colored. So you see that red, and there's a white one. So not natural like the other ones.
Now, did you get a picture of your in particular creation?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll see if I can get a better one as well. But this is the higher one. The higher is just like regular humans. And so as you can see here, this is the Midlander class. Just looks like regular people. Honestly, there's nothing really special about them. This is
They
the
don't have
Highlander.
superpowers. They don't fly in the sky.
Nope. This is the Highlander, so you can see like their build is a lot more buff than compared to
Little
the
bit.
Midlander. Yeah. And then we have the final class is the what were these again? Oh yes, the elves, the Elysian.
Okay.
So you can see they have the pointy ears. They look like the classic elves. There we go. So yeah. Oh, these are the darker elves. I guess I always
I
call
really
them
don't like the
elves.
dark versions of these characters. I gotta say.
Yeah, these are the dusk white, and these are the wildwood. The wildwood look more just like traditional elves.
Yeah.
So that's that. Those are all the races. We could take
Now
a
you got
look.
yours, right?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of my screenshots here, so you can still see that. Actually,
Yes.
let me open up all of these here. All right, so we have some screenshots from me playing the game. As you see, there's my character right there in the middle.
Is that a big rubber duck?
So that's one of the chocobos that you get if you pay for the collector's edition. You get a customizable
That is adorable.
chocobo.
I love rubber duckies.
If you look over to the right of that, that's a regular size.
You can't squeeze it and
chocobo.
make it quack, can you?
No. But yeah, that's pretty funny. See, there's like a Lalafell right there on his back, and he has a like a
So
head of
did you not
lettuce.
get the collector's edition to get the rubber duck?
No.
Can you
It
buy
was
the
a
rubber
lot
duck
of money.
separately?
Yeah, you can get it separately. Like you can upgrade to the collector's edition, but
Oh, you have to upgrade to the collector's edition.
Yeah.
You can't just like say I want the duck.
yeah. But here's a regular chocobo right here.
Okay.
I have another shot of a chocobo. So this is me again. I'm wearing like full armor. You can see my little tail right there. Here's a Lalafell. This is actually my
Whoa.
friend.
That's
this
a
is my
huge beast.
Yeah, it is. That's a behemoth. So you can get that. See, there's actual
The muscles.
player.
Those muscles aren't real. That's not natural.
Yeah, steroids.
Yeah, he's gonna break out his back or something.
This is my friend I play with a lot, and so we travel around together and
He's
do
a
quests.
midget. He looks like
Yeah,
you're
he's-
me and my Tomodachi life.
He's the Lalafell. Yeah.
So you got green hair on your cap?
No, I just have a helmet on right now.
Okay.
I'll see if I have one where I have my helmet off.
Do you
But
have like a close-up pic of yourself?
I do. I'll show that in Steam in a little bit. So here, right up in the corner, you can see the party systems. You can join a party, so that way you can keep track of your people. You have the chat down here in the lower left. You
Yep.
have all your current quests, your map. So it's really easy to kind of tell where things are. I guess at first it was kind of confusing because there's a lot on
A
the
lot
screen.
of stuff on the screen, yeah.
Yeah. Down here you have your hotbar. It shows all your controls. So if you use the controller, and we'll get into that here in a little bit.
Like,
This is
how
what
does
it looks
controller support work?
It's really simple.
Because you can't type, right? The chat would be useless, right?
Yeah. So well, you can still use your keyboard to type, but
Now, on like PS4, they do chat with the keyboard.
I don't know. Like I haven't. Well, I mean, I can use the regular keyboard to chat, but I don't know about the PS4.
That'd be weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's my character again, standing in front of one of those crystal shards that you can travel between. So right now I'm in Gridania, which is like the elf kind of homeland. So this is the fighting. So you can kind of see there could be a lot of stuff going on. So I'm in like a dungeon right now, and you see that the party that I'm in, there's 4 players. These are all 4 different people, and we're all fighting this guy. So there's one of my friends back there. There's another guy over here, and they're doing casting, so casting magic like to heal, and also doing some stuff. There's another guy, he's casting things, some magic on this enemy. And my character class right now, I'm just like a fighter dude, so I draw the attention away from them, and I can take a lot of damage. And
Yeah, it seems like this game, I'd love to try it out, but I wouldn't want to try it out for $40 and then not like it or whatever.
yeah. But here's a screenshot of at the end of like a mission, so you have all 4 players. There's my guy right here.
The midget is so hilarious. Oh, you have a
Yeah.
tail. Look at that.
Yeah, so I have a tail right there.
Now, can people grab the tail?
No.
They can't like swing
grab
you
the tail.
around, and
No.
that's part of battle. Okay.
And here is at night you can go into an inn and you can sleep. So as you see, my character curls up like a cat. And he
Is it
sleeps.
a 24-hour cycle?
No, it's more like I don't really know exactly how long. It's not that long, but
It's like Xenoblade Chronicles.
a little bit longer. Yeah, longer than that. But I mean, you can definitely go through a few days in the game if you play a pretty good amount of time. This is another screenshot of my character towards the beginning when I first started playing. So I'm on a chocobo. Here's my friends.
Yeah, a lot of clothing.
Yeah, you can wear a lot of different. Or you mean like a lot of different outfits? I have.
Yeah, did you have to buy those, or is that kind of included? with your
I
setup?
had to buy those. So you have to upgrade. Yeah, you got to buy different things.
Okay. How much money have you soaked into this game, Aaron?
You mean my actual money?
Your actual money. How much money did you
Just
put
the cost of the game, which is $24.99. That's it.
Okay. You didn't have to
Yeah.
buy the uniforms that was kind of earned in game.
Oh yeah. Those are you buy it with like your in-game money.
gotcha.
That's what I meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, a little bit more. Let's see. Oh yeah, wrapping it up.
How's the music? Is it you listen with like
Oh.
headphones? Is the music good?
The music is so good. So Final Fantasy is known for having really great music, and they kind of have these themes that kind of carry over through the games, and kind of classical themes. There's a lot. There's like remakes to the songs, so you can hear like the underlying like the old music, but
Yeah.
it's all been redone. It sounds so good, especially with your headset.
Very cool. And doesn't get repetitive or anything like that. With
No, and
so long.
one of the most amazing things about the music is that, so as I said, I do like a FaceTime call with one of my friends when we're playing, and we both have like the volume up, and we can hear the other person's game music is perfectly synced
Wow.
with yours. So like it's
cool.
it's server controlled, so everyone hears the same music if you're in that certain area. It's
That's
pretty nice.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, so as we were saying earlier, there's quests, things. You have like guild quests. You can join certain guilds, like Mages Guild, for example, and they have certain quests. Then you can also just go around and fight random enemies. And then there's this thing called Fates, where it's kind of like a side quest, but it's just in like the open world. And if anyone comes up on a fate, you can just join it, and you can play with other people and just start, finish this little quest, and
Yeah.
everybody just kind of splits off their own way.
It's
So,
cool.
so yeah, pretty cool.
You're playing mainly with PS4 controller and a keyboard.
Yeah, so that was the final thing I was going to talk about this game was the control. You can, of course, use your keyboard and mouse. I don't really prefer that because, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. But controller is where it's at. You can use the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3, or PS4. I use the PS4 controller. The reason why I chose that is because in the game you can set which controller you're actually using, so it shows on screen like triangle button, for example, instead of Y, so it actually knows what controller you're using. And then second, there are some things on screen that come up that are much easier just to use your mouse to go over to and click.
And
And the
the
touchpad,
touchpad.
yeah, the touchpad's where it's at. So
Sony seemed to create the perfect PC gamer.
yeah, it's the best. I use it now for everything. It's
They
so
just
nice.
need to add a keyboard in the middle, so you have this controller that's this long and has a keyboard in the middle and a touchpad at the top.
Like
The GameCube.
Yeah, like the GameCube one. There you go.
I wonder if that would work, that you could find an adapter to use that controller, Aaron.
Sure, you could. Yeah,
That would be a good experiment to try. Same.
but yeah, it's a really good game. We'll be talking about it sometime later. I'm sure I'll probably be bringing it up every once in a while throughout
Now,
the show.
how in love are you with this game? Are you going to buy subscriptions?
Yes, I don't know how many. Like I might, take a break off because you can get it and then you don't have to continue to do your subscription. You can take some time off and then subscribe again. Your character will all still be saved and everything.
Okay.
So
Now,
Yeah.
you have a PC. Say you wanted to try it on PS4 one day, if you ever got that. Is your character move along with you?
I don't know. That'd be interesting to check into. I'm not sure.
Seems like MMO would be more open for that to happen.
Yeah,
Because the MMO idea in my mind is you buy the game and you can play it on any hardware and it doesn't really matter because you're paying a subscription service and that's kind of what you're paying for.
yeah, should work that way, but I don't
That'd
know.
be interesting because you are playing with console gamers as well. They're all intermixed, right?
Well, I don't
Same
know
server.
about that either. Yeah,
Okay. So I'd be curious the keyboard support. They'd have to do the virtual keyboard, I'd imagine,
yeah,
or the PS. They'd use the PlayStation app or something of that type.
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So we're let's see.
Anything you want to wrap up the show with, Steam wise?
Yeah, so I was going to try to do something. So as I was telling you earlier, Steam is always changing. It changes from day to day. You never know what's going to be on there. So I think what we're going to do is at the end of each show, just pull up Steam and let's see what's going on there. So I have it pulled up here. So this is, as of today, it is Sunday, August 10th.
Okay.
They have, let's see, there's not as many sales today, but I know that you got Saints Row 4.
I did. It's got on the rental GameFly. Pretty great. Pretty
Okay,
awesome.
so Saints Row 4 is on sale, regular edition. It's 50% off, so it's $9.99. And then Saints
That's a good
Row
price. I think I could buy it secondhand for like 15 probably.
Saints Row 4, the Game of the Century edition, not just Game of the Year, this is Game of the Century edition,
Oh boy.
is $19.99. See, the top games right now hasn't changed much recently. So we have like Divinity Original Sin, which I'd like to try out. Still up there. DayZ, Counter Strike, and Space Engineer. So all of these have kind of been on the list for a while without changing. See, we have, but Steam has free weekends for certain games. Yeah, so you can play the game over the weekend free. It usually starts about Thursday. You can play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's
It
cool.
automatically adds it to your list. This week they have Insurgency, and also through this weekend it's 50% off. So if you decide you want to buy it,
That's cool.
Only $7.49, and that looks to be about it. Not some really good sales, but
Now, did you want to talk at all about Destiny and it's not coming to PC anything?
yeah, let's talk about that.
This is a heartbreak for you, Aaron. You know, you got the super jazzed up computer and you can't play Destiny on it.
So Destiny, I was always looking forward to because I like Bungie. Of course, I
Yeah.
like Halo. I was really looking forward to them making another game, and Destiny seems like really awesome. So
It's a lot of fun. I played the beta on both Xbox and PlayStation, and it's great.
yeah. So I was really wanting to get it on consoles at first. That was always my, I guess my mindset. I was always going to get on
Yeah.
console, but I knew it was going to come to PC. But I, of course, didn't have the PC at the time. When I got my PC, it was still in my mind that I was going to get it on consoles because that's always what
Yeah.
I thought. Because I had friends that were going to play it on there. But I was also looking forward to maybe trying it on my PC because I know, of course, it's going to look a lot better.
Of course it would, Aaron.
Yeah, but it's still very disappointing that it's not coming out for PC, at least until March or so.
Yeah, that's the rumor, and nothing official yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got in today because of my points accumulating a $10 off gift card. So with the $10 rebate thing I'll be getting, it's going to cost me $28 to buy this game.
So what are you going to get it on?
PS4 is
Ah.
my going to be initial purchase, and I'm thinking Xbox One will come shortly after.
So if you got an Xbox One, I'd be able to play with you. So
See, that's the thing, Aaron. Because PS4, I think I'm gonna like the controller and the
yeah, the controller's
better.
so nice. Yeah.
But it's all about the friends list, and I've got two very different friends lists on both consoles, and I feel like I gotta get both versions because I want to play with both of my groups of friends. Is it? I mean, it's the craziest thing. It'd be awesome if they could just all play together.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that games would be like that, where it's just you choose what works best for you as far as console, and certain games coming to each
Yeah.
console. But the ones that are cross-platform you should be able to play with everyone.
Yeah, that's stupid that I have to buy two versions of games to play with everyone I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I pre-ordered for PS4 because that's the one I had a better online experience with. Because basically during the beta, the Xbox Live was broken because the beta bugs.
Xbox Live's always broken during betas or when a game releases.
Yeah, so I'll start out with PS4, and then by the time Xbox is cleaned
Yeah.
up, I'll be ready for it.
Hopefully, it worked out all the bugs at that point.
Yeah, but yeah, this year I'm really excited to buy on my current gen, GTA 5, Alien Isolation, Destiny, and Sunset Overdrive. Those are the four I'm super excited about on my non-Nintendo devices.
Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts on why they pushed this off?
They were explaining that doing 360, PS3, PS4, and Xbox One was already a lot of work to get all those perfect and ready for launch. That PC was just a whole nother thing that'd take a lot of effort to do to get it out. My also thought is the online component of this. That's the part. So the actual graphics and the software itself isn't the hard thing to put on PC, right, Aaron? Because that's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
The hard part is the online component in my mind because it's a different infrastructure than whatever PSN and Xbox Live does, right?
I didn't get that last part.
So technically speaking, it's not hard to put Steam on or Destiny on PC
Yeah.
because Xbox One, PS4 are basically PCs. It's a simple way of looking at it, but the online component of it all is what makes it hard. That they have to develop an online ecosystem that works with Steam and get the server set up properly and do testing there to make sure the online experience is an enjoyable one.
Well, I mean, I kind of understand, but I don't think that would be so much of a problem because I feel like it's already in place for every platform. Each platform already has a long history of having online games, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just another platform to test out because they have 4 platforms now they're testing out, making sure it's all perfect with. This would just be a 5th that they're going to hold off on. And yeah, they said, I mean, all of the developers are big PC gamers and they want that on PC one day, but it's just not going to happen at launch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got to use your big fat Xbox One, Aaron.
Yeah. Which I just moved it today over because, as you know, I got this nice TV that I hooked up on my computer.
So did you move it to a place you're going to use it more?
Yes.
Good.
And I think the reason why is because we all have our spot where we're comfortable playing games. It's like if you have all your stuff.
See, I have a studio, so it's just like the whole room is my place. So that's a nice setup for me. But you have all these different rooms. So you could actually use like 2 Xbox Ones, and if you bought things digitally, they would just go to both your consoles and be all set up. That's what you need to do. You need to buy a second Xbox One. Get the white one. Get the white one.
Oh yes, that white one looks nice.
Looks
I
hot.
told you I wanted the white one from the start. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You can get a Wii U in white, PS4, and Xbox One white. They all have white versions this generation. So.
The thing is, though, is that the Wii U went with white first. The other ones were like, wait, maybe white's where it's at. Let's.
Well, they held it back. Let's make it special. Limited edition white.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're gonna get this. Are you getting day one on Xbox One? Is that your plan?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
And you're giving the disc-based version.
Disc-based, yep.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Anything else you want to talk about on today's show?
No, I think that's about it.
Cool.
Other than, so we talked about, I'll try to keep everyone up to date with my new hardware upgrades. So I got a new monitor.
If you're looking at the video version, you can probably see in the reflection, like a bigger reflection.
Yeah, it's a big reflection in my face. I'm actually using the Mac Mini right now that I have my camera on, but right here is my big
32
It's
inch.
a 32-inch TV, actually, but I'm using it as a monitor, and I'm only about 3 feet away from it.
Is the refresh rate good on TVs to be able to do that?
Yeah, it's really nice. I mean, TVs have really come a long way.
I mean, I guess we use consoles on TVs. So
well, I mean, it's 60 hertz, so
yeah,
it's the same as like almost all monitors going to be 60 hertz. So.
It's no Retina display though.
Yeah, it's no Retina display, but it is 1080p. You know, I'm far enough away where it's like I mean, even though it is a larger TV at 1080p, you sit far enough away, you can't tell the pixels.
Totally.
So
Cool. Yeah, it was a $200 purchase for you.
Yeah, it was on sale. It was a really great deal. So $200.
Yeah, same brand as mine. I got an Insignia. That's what I use for my this half of the room TV.
Yeah. Now, one thing if you think about doing this with TVs, you have to go through your settings. A lot of TVs nowadays, have certain settings that they'll try to
I had to Google this. I had to Google this and find a forum to give me the proper numbers for each adjustment on Insignia, and I found a setting that works well.
Well, one of the things that's real important, especially this works for consoles. I mean, this goes for consoles as well. Is that TVs always try to process stuff, whether make it smoother or things, but when you're playing games, it'll slow down. There'll be
even movies looked crappy. I opened it up, turned on, I was like, oh no, what mistake did I make? And I Googled for some settings, and it's like, oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. Well, what I'm referring to more is the response time. So
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So whenever you have just the default settings, you can definitely tell if you are in a menu for a game and you push up or down, you see there's a little bit of lag there, and you want to go through your settings and turn off all the certain things because some TVs will try to smooth it out and it'll look weird and it'll slow it all
Yeah.
down. So some TVs even have like a video game setting. So when you turn it on to that, it'll turn off all of those functions, and you can tell the response time. So I went through and turned off all of the processing stuff on my TV, so it's quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, go through and fix the color, because they
Yeah,
ship
definitely.
those things majorly screwed up. I don't know who works at their departments for
Yeah.
deciding colors.
It's never.
There's
been
not a
ready.
single good preset for TVs. It has to be custom, and you have to Google it. What's the appropriate color setting for this TV?
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
terrible. It's terrible. Anyways, Aaron, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at AL Rivera 423 everywhere, including
Very
my
good.
Steam, Twitter, things like that.
Cool. My username is TCHATEN. Good for everywhere, including YouTube, where you can watch the video versions of these podcasts and catch out the screenshots that are shown today. So youtube.com/TCHATEN. Friend me on XBL, PSN, Nintendo Network, and I will be happy to game with you there. And we do these shows live Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern over at youtube.com/tchan. Also check out Club Xbox, 8 p.m. Friday night, Club PlayStation, 8 p.m. Saturday night, Club Nintendo, 9 p.m. Sunday night. So if you're on the live stream, stay tuned for Club Nintendo coming up next. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
See ya.